have never seen a single South African ever complain about a Kenyan misbehaving in their country. And this pushes me to ask, are there no Kenyans in South Africa, or are all Kenyans in South Africa rightfully documented? Or are Kenyans just doing something right that the rest of the world, the rest of Africa, need to copy from them? Now, I watched a video from Grandiland where he was appreciating the fact that he has not seen any Kenyan, right, who is being ill-treated or being questioned, or who is literally being faced by South Africans during this very tensed period in South Africa. Then it pushed me to think a little deeper, and I'm like, that's true. I have never seen a Kenyan caught up in this whole mess on social media. Now, I know so many Kenyans. I have so many Kenyan friends, and Kenyans could be very petty, right? They could be very, very petty, but they are very respectful. And their pettiness always comes out when you attack them. Because in general, they're very nice people, very respected people, and they respect people as well. They're respectful at the same time, right? So it pushes me to wonder, are there no illegal Kenyans in South Africa? There will definitely be. But now, maybe you will never just notice them. Kenya is one of the most populous countries in Africa. Like when you go top 10, Kenya definitely falls in like multi-millions of Kenyans all around the world. But then again, maybe you guys should tag me on some videos, but I have never heard that Kenyans are being ill-treated, or they are being dragged, or they are being insulted in a particular community, and Kenyans are not even like, they're not even like quiet. It's not like they are quiet. They are not quiet, but I guess they're very respectful, and there's just that thing about Kenya. There's that positive thing about Kenya, right? It's very unfortunate that things are going on the way they're going on in South Africa right now, because Kenyan South Africans really love themselves. Like they're so cool on social media, but I see some people trying to bring in some rifts between these people. But come to think of it, I've not seen any Kenyan who has gone through a tough one in South Africa. And I pray it doesn't happen, by the way, because Kenyans were not easy, right? It's gonna be like a lot. But yeah, you guys are amazing, man. You guys are amazing. How you guys respect laws, how you guys just do your things. It's amazing. And I must really commend you guys for that, right? At the same time, I don't know how far I'm gonna be pleading, but I will just have to keep pleading, and every single opportunity I can plead. I'm pleading with South Africans, I'm pleading with Jacinta, I'm pleading with any other person who is literally so bitter. I mean, I really cannot measure the pain that you guys are going through right now, but I'm just pleading. That you guys should temper justice with mercy. This 30th of June thing is very terrifying, especially for the people who are in South Africa, and even the South Africans themselves, though. I feel terrified for them, right? So let's just see how things go. But please, you guys should calm down. I don't know if, yeah, but you guys should just calm down. I'm begging you guys, just calm down. I guess we can use so many other ways to solve this thing. Please.
The only African country that I've ever seen its people stand up against their government, just like the way Kenya did right now, is South Africa. Is South Africa. These are the only people. There's no other African country again with African people that have stood up for their government, just like the way South Africans and Kenyans have done. I think we need to allow this continent for these two countries to fix. Yes, we need to, especially Kenyans. Imagine people acting like military officers without having military training. Those are Kenyans I'm talking about. If you look at the protestation yesterday, Kenyans knew when to duck. They knew when to stand. They were organized. So organized yesterday in their protest. They know the particular places to hit. That's why I say, imagine people acting like military officers without going through military training. Imagine if they were given training. Or imagine if Kenyans were living in a country where every civilian is supposed to serve 2 years in the military. The government would have been down. They would have been down. Because Kenya people, I salute you guys. I salute you guys. One love to all my Kenyans. I will never fight you people again in this ride. I have seen now that you people are very, very strong. One love to my Kenyan people. Don't forget to like and share. One love.
I see people saying South Africans are doing this to all the Africans because they know Africans cannot do anything. But they don't try this with white people, right? Because white people will fight back, white people will react. But trust me, it depends on the kinds of Africans South Africans are doing this with, right? I think they are doing this to Nigerians because Nigerians always play the big brother role, right? We are the big brothers of Africa or whatever that is, right? And also Nigerians like fighting as individuals, not as collective, right? For example, if something happened to a Nigerian in South Africa, Nigerians are not going to fight as a collective in Nigeria to fight back, right? Some Nigerians will say, "Oh, it is not my business, so it's I'm not going to fight back," right? And they're also trying this with Ghanaians, for example, because Ghanaians, they like playing the diplomacy. You saw recently, even their president sent flights to go and pick their people from South Africa. I don't know about Zimbabwe because I've not really met Zimbabweans. I've not been also to Zimbabwe, right? So I will just speak for Nigeria and Ghana. But trust me, the people that I know that South Africans will not try this with and just let it slide are Kenyans. Number one, Kenyans. Let South Africans try and attack Kenyan on the street of let's say Joburg or Cape Town, anywhere in South Africa, and see what the streets of Nairobi, Kenya, will be like in the next day, and see how Kenyans will hunt South Africans down in Kenya. They will not try this with Kenyans. Or let South Africans try this with Gambians, for example, because I have met a lot of Africans, but these two countries I've mentioned here, Kenyans and Gambians, you don't try this nonsense with them.
Kenya will banter with everybody in East Africa. They banter Uganda, Tanzania, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Somalia, everybody. They'll even cross and come to Congo, which speaks French, and banter with them and win. They'll cross and come to West Africa in Nigeria and still banter with Nigerians. They want to drag body with us. And then they cannot banter South Africans. I have never heard and seen Kenya banter with South Africans. I have never, ever. Kenyans, are you guys scared of South Africans? I want to know. Are you guys scared of South Africans? Do South Africans care you guys? Because if not, why is it that you have banter with everybody in East Africa and even cross to West Africa and go to Central Africa, and yet no South Africa? It's okay. It's okay to admit that you're afraid of South Africans. Even me, I fear them. When they come here and start speaking that they are Zulu and Nsonga and Swana, I start running away. I don't want Wahala.
You see all these protests going on in South Africa. There's a country in Africa that I am very, very scared of them. That country is Kenya. You guys will not understand. I am telling you people right now, if a video ever pops up on the internet that a Kenyan was attacked in South Africa, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Maybe 15 South Africans would die in Kenya that same day, or maybe the next day. You see these Kenyans, they are very, very dangerous set of people. These are people that they are not to be messed with. I know some of you guys will say, oh, blah. Let me tell you, there are some people who are very, very slow to react, but their reaction always carry power. Those people are Nigerians. Those are Nigerians. Nigerians too are very, very dangerous, but they are slow to react. You see, Kenyans, they react and then they think about the consequences later. That is how Kenyans are. That is how they were built. That is how they are built.
The only African country that I've ever seen its people stand up against their government, just like the way Kenyan did right now, is South Africa. Is South Africa. These are the only people. There's no other African country again with African people that have stood up for their government, just like the way South Africans and Kenyans have done. I think we need to allow this continent for these two countries to fix. Yes, we need to, especially Kenyans. Imagine people acting like military officers without having military training. Those are Kenyans I'm talking about. If you look at the protestation yesterday, Kenyans knew when to duck. They knew when to stand. They were organized. So organized yesterday in their protest. They know the particular places to hit. That's why I say, imagine people acting like military officers without going through military training. Imagine if they were given training, or imagine if Kenyans were living in a country where every civilian is supposed to serve 2 years in the military. The government would have been down. They would have been down. Because Kenya people, I salute you guys. I salute you guys. One love to all my Kenyans. I will never fight you people again in this ride. I have seen now that you people are very, very strong. One love to my Kenyan people. Don't forget to like and share. One love.